I am currently 7 weeks out from my first ever natural bodybuilding competition. My name is Shane, and I'm documenting the whole journey from A to Z, whether it's the training, nutrition, mentality, and all the struggles from the beginning to the end that we're going to be going through as we head towards the stage for the first time ever. I had a dream when I was 16 years old, picking up my first dumbbell, and I asked myself a question of what would it be like for me to get myself into the single best shape of my life and to achieve the maximum potential in a physique that I was capable of getting to. The prep started at 16 weeks out, and with more than halfway of it done, we're deep in the trenches now, guys. I woke up today at 146.2, which is 0.4 pounds higher than it was at the end of last week. So my weight has been kind of just fluctuating a little bit up and down and then ending up a little bit lighter as the week goes on. Today's video is going to have a few fun topics. I'll put them up right over here. So we're going to be prepping our pre-workout, heading to the gym for a pull day. I'm going to show you guys the posing routine that I've set up as a preliminary posing routine, I guess you can call it. Then we're going to come back, show you guys a bit of a grocery haul from Costco, so I'm going to be heading to Costco in a little. Then from there I'll be discussing a topic that I think would be cool to discuss, and that's what I think about men's physique and whether or not I'm going to enroll myself to compete in men's physique at the show that's coming up, as well as open and classic bodybuilding. So stay tuned, it's all coming up next, and let's get into the first part. Here we go. Gonna show you guys my pre-workout meal that I had to change because I was getting some digestive issues the last couple of weeks. So my coach wanted me to start incorporating some of these guys, some all brand buds, which are super high in fiber and have pretty good, very good ingredients in them. It's actually very clean. So I'm starting to eat that in the morning instead of rice cakes with honey. Okay, so we made it here to the gym. We're at Atlantis like usual, a little bit different from last week. Obviously because I don't have a course Saturday and Sunday this week, I can go to my gym préféré, or as we say in English, my preferred gym. So I just finished up the pre-workouts. We're going to be getting in there and hitting the pull day that is on our updated program that we talked about last week. I gave you guys a bit of a summary of the changes we were going to make. So what do we have on the menu so that you know ahead of time what we're going to be doing? We have a chest supported row, a neutral grip lat pull down, a face pull with external rotation supersetted, alternating dumbbell curls, doing a giant set, which again is kind of one set of 18 reps per arm, followed by 4 sets of 4 reps with 15 seconds in between. So you kind of get to failure and then you just start banging out sets of 4 reps per arm over and over and over. Then finishing off with a conditioning exercise that's basically rowing a tank or a sled. I never really filmed that one because it's not like super interesting to see, but yeah, so we took deadlifts out. It's not necessarily something that's my coach wants me to be loading or anything like crazy like that for my lower back, since I'm lower and lower in body fat and my injury risk can go up since I'm also having less calories. I'm a little less recovered overall. And yeah, we'll see how that kind of affects the lower back. I should have no problems retaining that sort of like Christmas tree look that I'm getting in my lower back. But if ever I feel that it's maybe lacking, I'll bring it up to him and we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll throw them back into the program. So enough dilly-dallying. Let's get in there. Pull day coming right up.
He doesn't stop. I've told him 1,000 times. He's doing too much. But he doesn't care. He just keeps going. Every single day, he wakes up with one goal: get better. He welcomes failure, just to understand it, just to break it down, just to beat it. When he doesn't see progress, it eats at him. Not because he doubts himself, but because he demands more. He doesn't care about average things. He doesn't care what they say about him. Not their opinions, not the party this weekend. He wants only one thing: to become better and better and better. He is a grinder, not just a man, a machine, a force. A grinder, like the device that reduces solid stone into dust. That's what he does with goals. He breaks them down. He crushes them into small, unstoppable actions. He makes the impossible real, like a mad scientist in the dark, relentless, obsessed. And that is why the grinder will never stop.
He turns vision into action, ambition into routine, dreams into dust and shape again. That's why the grinder will never stop.
Winning demands that you look stupid first. That's the game. You're gonna look like a clown the first time you try anything worthwhile. You wanna learn a new skill? You're gonna suck. You wanna start a new business? You're gonna look stupid. You wanna develop discipline? Guess what? You're gonna fail a few times. That's part of the deal. And the people who win are the ones who accept that cost and keep moving anyway. That guy that you see at the gym with the perfect physique, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how to eat. He didn't know how to train. He had no idea. He was just like you. That guy that you see driving the car that you want, living in the house that you want, with the business that you want, he suffered. He got made fun of. He got laughed at. He was embarrassed. All of the things that you are. The only difference is they cared more about what they were becoming than what they look like today. They failed over and over and over again. And every single time they failed, while everyone else was laughing, they got better.
You want to know what really separates the best from the rest? It's not talent, not even luck. It's obsessive discipline, even when no one is watching. Michael Phelps didn't become a legend because of his physique. He became one because for 6 straight years, he didn't take a single day off. Not on his birthday, not on Christmas, not even on Sundays. He trained when no one else would. And in that silence, he found his edge. Here's what most people don't understand. The best don't wait to feel motivated. They do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like it. Because they've learned the mind can be trained just like the body. And when you master that, you become unstoppable. It's not about being like Phelps. It's about acting like someone who takes their life seriously. Do it for yourself. Do it every day, and one day you'll look back and realize you became the kind of person you used to admire.
If you're not willing to look stupid, if you're going to get hung up on what other people think, you are not capable of winning. Because this test, the test that you pass in the beginning about feeling stupid and looking stupid and having doubt, having people laugh, that is the hardest test to pass. And if you can't pass it, you can't win.
I just don't feel like working out right now. I don't feel like putting in the work. I just feel tired. I feel like I'm not at my best. I don't care. Nobody cares how you feel. All right? Stop letting your emotions
They mistook silence for surrender, but in truth, he was sharpening, in the dark, quietly, deliberately, becoming something else. Now he walks like a prophecy fulfilled. This is what happens when you push the wrong soul too far. You call me a monster, but I am what the world forged, what it wielded. The world stripped away the softness of my soul.
All right, so pull day is done. Now we're gonna check the back pump, and I'll show you guys the first iteration of the posing routine, because I'm gonna have about 30 to 45 seconds to do an individual routine at the show once they call my name to go on stage. So it's just a series of poses that you do over music that they've chosen. I'm not gonna get to choose my music for my routine this time. And you just kind of go with the flow of the music, pick your best poses to show the judges, and then you get in line, usually before they actually do the judging rounds. So we'll check the back pump and then posing routine. All right, here's the routine. So we finished up with our pull day. You guys got a bit of that sneak peek into the posing routine. It was definitely a little jumpy, I'd say, because I'm having some hesitation in those first 4 poses, how to transition one to the next. Because you don't just want to be really good at holding each pose, but you want to be able to flow into each pose. Because as it was famously said in Pumping Iron, people aren't just watching you at point A and B, they're watching you the whole entire time. So you want to make sure that transitions are also kind of flowy and that they look nice and that they're also aesthetic. But I felt very strong today. I think the refeed yesterday definitely made a big impact. So having those during the prep every 7 to 10 days or so. In my case, it was to have 300 calories more of carbohydrates, which is around, I guess, 60-ish grams extra carbs for the day, just to replenish and recover. I feel pretty good doing that. Felt great. I have some social events coming up in 2 days from now, and then a birthday party to attend 5 days after that, where again I'll be around a whole bunch of food that I'm not supposed to be eating, and it won't be in time for me to have, you know, a cheat meal or refeed meal. So most likely gonna be packing my own food for that, and having to begrudgingly explain to people who aren't necessarily as caught up with bodybuilding and fitness that I can't have the hot dogs and cheeseburgers right now, even if it's only once, now that I'm gonna be, you know, 7 to 6 weeks out from competing. But anyway, we're gonna head off. We're gonna go do our Costco haul. Maybe I'll have time to show you guys what that looks like once I get home. If not, then I'll see you guys for the discussion that we're gonna have on today's topic, but we'll see. It'll be a bit of a surprise in the next clip. See you guys there. Okay, so we are back, and here's just a quick look at things that we got. Strawberries from the heart of Quebec. Bananas, much needed in the morning. I make sure they're nice and green because usually I have extras already in the fridge from the week before to finish. Here we got our first cut of meat. A bottom blade beef roast piece, which for 1.3 kilos of meat is only $29 in Canada. I say only, but that's actually a lot of money. If I were to buy individual steaks, this is gonna make like 4 or 5 steaks, but each steak at the grocery store is like $20 to $25 for just one. Which, I'm sorry, it's like the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. So this is actually a way that I'm gonna be able to have steaks in a much more affordable way, and there's a way to prep it so that the meat isn't as tough, because usually this wouldn't be seen as a steak type of meat. Next up is one of the biggest essentials of bodybuilding, and that is our lean ground beef. For 3 kilos, I'm paying $38 Canadian. So again, I'll be able to use about 2 kilos for the lunches that I'm gonna have for my meals that I'm gonna prep during the week, as well as my girlfriend's meals. And then the other kilogram I'll either save, or I'll still cook it and keep it in the fridge for meals that I might be prepping during the week that are outside of my lunch. So that's there, and then last meat or protein item is some good old salmon. Great source of fat, good amount of protein, tastes good, doesn't need necessarily lots of seasonings to have a nice taste to it. I enjoy salmon and I enjoy fish, so I'm lucky for that. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is what it is. And the last couple of items, we're restocking on our egg whites. So 4 times 500 grams of egg whites. So that's gonna be for breakfast. And then we got another bag of frozen mixed vegetables. These are the small ones, which you can literally just dump into your lunch and then microwave the whole thing. And it's all ready, and it's frozen fresh. It's actually very good quality. I'm a huge fan of this. I'm gonna put all this away, and then I'll see you guys in the next clip. All right, so real talk, let's discuss what my thoughts are on the possibility of competing in the men's physique category. Now, for those of you who don't know, for bodybuilding shows, you have mainly 3 types of categories for the men, and that's gonna be open bodybuilding, classic physique, as well as men's physique. Now, there's gonna be other categories as well, but I'll just be discussing those 3 mainly. Now, when I was getting into bodybuilding, the main thing for me was that I liked bodybuilders who were kind of in the open category. You know, like I liked the characters of Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman and Kai Green and Phil Heath and these guys at the time. but none of them had physiques that I was like, wow, I actually want to look like that. If anything, it was probably more people who were competing in men's physique whose bodies were more aesthetic, in my opinion, that I actually wanted to potentially strive to have. And I'm talking about guys who competed, who, just to name a few, would be like Jeff Side, guys like Jeremy Bondia, Ryan Terry, the current Mr. Olympia for men's physique. These guys are awesome. Like the whole idea for men's physique is to have this kind of beach body look that has a lot of focus on shoulder width and abdominal development. My only gripe with it is like, dude, why are we covering the legs, man? You know, Urs Kalasinski said it best. Show the legs, bro. Pull up the clip right here.
Show the legs, bro.
The idea of bodybuilding is
Show the
exactly in
legs.
the name. It's bodybuilding. It's not upper bodybuilding. It's not ab building. You're not doing arm building. It's the full package. Like, it's talking about from the ground up. So the calves, thighs, hamstrings, glutes, I think those should all be developed. And I'm not saying that men's physique guys don't actually train those body parts, but I just find it odd that you're going to do a physique contest and you're going to completely cover a whole 1/3 of your physique by not showing what your thighs look like. And I think that the second gripe I probably have is just that there's a lack of diversity and interest that I have in the posing that men's physique tends to push a lot of. While I have no doubt that it's definitely going to be difficult to pose in men's physique, and there's a lot of layers and intricacies to it, to the person who's just watching the category for the first time, you pretty much got like one pose, and it's out here like this. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, this is great as like a relaxed pose, but I don't know, like show me the front double bicep, show me a rear lat spread, show me like quads and thighs and abdominals, man. Like, that's the cool shit where you can see if there's a certain bodybuilder that hits their best pose on stage and they hit it and they're holding it and you're seeing like these muscles bulge out, you're like, that's badass, man. That's freaking insane. But, you know, for someone to walk up the stage and, you know, I hit one of these and put my arm out and I'm just smiling, looking out at everybody, walk somewhere else, do it again, walk somewhere else, do it again, turn to the side, and, you know, I don't even know. I don't know. It's just not appealing to me. So you're not going to see me ever really compete in men's physique. I'm happy with my leg development, and it's something that I do want to show on stage. So that's why I'm really just deciding to go with open bodybuilding and classic physique as far as competitions go. You know, if I was trying to become an IFBB pro and my goal wasn't to become a mass monster, then I'd probably have to go the men's physique route. I think that's why a lot of guys who don't necessarily have as much mass as they want to or need go the men's physique route, because you can be a bit of a smaller athlete or have a bit of a smaller build and still do very well in that category. But look, I'm competing natural. You can only get so big, and I'm not going to go and just get eclipsed by guys who are on steroids or who are enhanced, because I'm going to be competing at a natural show, you know? Not to say that guys competing at these shows aren't on stuff, potentially, and maybe they just cycled off a couple of weeks before and now they're going to test negative on the drug test. But more than likely, people signing up are doing it because they want to do it naturally and they don't want to necessarily go to that side of the sport just yet, or at all, potentially. So anyway, that's what I kind of think about the men's physique category as far as it applies to myself, okay? And it's no offense at all to anyone who's competing in men's physique. Anyone who's willing to step on stage at a competition has earned more than just my respect, but I think it's very commendable. And I think that whether you're going to go men's physique or open or classic, it's badass that you're making the decision to come along on that journey and to take on that challenge. So something that I'm also doing this week is I have to order my posing trunks now that I'm 7 weeks out. And so I met a girl named Crystal, I guess is her name. Company's called Crystal Creations at Fitlog. That was back in April. And she gave me a brochure as well as for the website where she makes posing trunks. She made the trunks for Will Tennyson's show and quite a lot of other competitors. So this is the brochure. Oh, can that focus? So this is the brochure in question. And got my measuring tape here. And you'll see that for the guys, there's a few things that you got to be able to measure. So your natural waist, upper hips, over your glutes, your upper thigh, upper knee, and different measurements like that. There's also going to be the ladies chart, so different measurements that you have to give, because everything that you order from her will be made custom. There's also kind of a guide on, like, you know, for the women's competitors, you know, which jewelry colors will be best for them on stage. You know, based on your veins and all that stuff, and then also looking at your summer closet. There's actually a cool little Q&A thing back here, which is kind of nice. But yeah, Crystal Creations, all with a K, right there. So I'm kind of stuck right now between deciding if I want to do something like a royal purple, or potentially like an emerald green, you know, because for open bodybuilding I can choose the color of my trunks. Classic physique, it's always a black trunk, but the material can be a bit different. So anyway, classic, I'm going to do like a black metallic kind of material so the light can shine off of it. But then for open, I think I'm going to go with something like this color. As you can see here, so hologram magenta, which is super nice. You know, maybe it's ever so slightly on the brighter side compared to what I like. So we come over to men, and there's the hologram magenta. There's the green that I was kind of looking at as well, fern green. There's also like metallic navy, which is kind of nice, but I feel like a lot of people are gonna go with navy kind of colors. So there's also this kind of like slightly darker purple that was there, but it was out of stock and it was a limited edition one, so I'm not gonna be able to get that one, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna take those measurements, send in my order for the 2 trunks that I need, and hopefully I'll be able to get those ASAP. Curious to see what they'll look like once they're on. Obviously the purple is going to look pretty good when I have a full tan, full spray tan, right? 2 coats on, because that dark with the bright will create a nice contrast. So it's going to wrap things up for this week's vlog. Again, I'm happy that I don't have any massive weekend commitments now, and I can focus a bit more on just the training and the meal prep and making sure things are going well. You guys got to see the posing routine that we've put together, and that will be still getting a little bit adjusted and worked on as the weeks go on. Got a little bit of a look at the posing trunks that I might be looking at to order. And yeah, we're rolling along, you know. Can't say that it's an easy time as of now. You know, the calories are getting a bit lower, starting to feel a little bit more of those energy dips as what's to be expected, but I'm beyond happy with the results that I'm getting at the moment. It's the most lean I've ever been, lowest body fat I've ever been at, and so we're just gonna keep on keeping on. I want to thank you, the viewer, for taking the time to watch today's video. It's very much appreciated. I know at the time of recording this video, I don't have necessarily a ton of exposure, like I'm averaging double digits in terms of views on the channel. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, if even like 5 people watch the video and 1 person learns something that they can kind of take away and apply to their own life in a positive manner, I'll keep doing these things, right? And I think it'll be a lot of fun for myself, at least, to look back on the videos years and years from now and be like, oh yeah, that was the time that I prepped for a bodybuilding show, and I was able to just kind of put it out there and talk about the whole experience and remember what it was like. Anyway, wherever you are, I hope you're doing amazing. Have yourself an incredible week. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to. Like the video if you enjoyed it today. And I'll see you guys in the next one because we're going to be 6 weeks out. Ciao.